Did you finally purchase the boat of your dreams and now it's the first time to take it out by yourself? I'm Jeremy Talbot with SKIER'S Marine, and today we're going to give you some tips to get your boat successfully into the water. All right guys, welcome to the launch. First thing I like to do is pull off into one of the designated areas to get your boat ready. Never be the person that gets your boat ready in the middle of the boat launch while everybody is trying to launch their boats. Just becomes a problem, you get in the way, and it's a lot safer to move over to the designated area to get your boat ready for launch. I like to start from the back of the boat, and I usually start with my boat plug first and foremost. We're working with an aluminum tri-tune today, so we don't have a plug, so that's nice to not have to worry about that. We start with the transom straps here on the back from trailer in the boat here safely. We get these guys removed over here very easily. Want to make sure that that's done so the boat doesn't try to stay on the trailer when we're launching it. Once those straps are off, we want to make sure we put them in a safe, secure place. I like to put them back in the truck. So now that our straps are back in our truck, we move on to the battery switch so that we can get our motor down. I love what Premier has done where they put the battery switch right here on the outside on the back of the boat so it's easy to get to. I can lift the motor up now. I can take the travel lock off so that we can lower the motor the rest of the way so we're ready to crank when we're in the water. So now that we're done at the back of the boat getting everything ready, we're gonna go ahead and continue to load all of our gear, our towels, our coolers, our safety gear, you name it. Anything that we're gonna bring, we're gonna wanna go ahead and load that here. A lot easier to do that on land, and we can pack our stuff without risking dropping it in the water once the boat has already been launched. Now that we got the boat packed with all the gear and our dock lines laid out so we can tie up, we're ready to head to the boat launch. Once we get lined up for the launch, one of the first things I do is roll down my windows so I can hear everything going on outside of the vehicle. Boat ramps are typically a very busy place, so there's a lot of people walking around your vehicle that you can't always see, so I recommend keeping those windows down for safety. We're going to back down the launch so that the boat is lined up just before the water. Now that we got the boat right at the water's edge, we're going to hop out and we're going to put some slack in the winch. We don't want that line to be super tight when we have the boat in the water because it'll put a lot of unnecessary tension on the winch strap. So be sure to loosen it, but do not unhook the boat. Now that's key. So just enough slack to release that tension, and then we're going to go ahead and back it the rest of the way into the water. That way when we back the boat in, it doesn't float away when it gets into the water. Once the boat is in the water, the first thing we're going to do is put our truck in park and set the parking brake. Do not forget to set the parking brake. That is something a lot of people don't even think about. We're going to come into the boat, and before we unhook the bow, we're going to crank our boat and make sure that we've got a running motor. Now, since we've got an outboard, one of the things I like to do is look in the back at the motor and make sure we got water coming out, which means everything is running properly. And now we're ready to unhook. Back it off nice and easy, and this is where I like to tell a lot of customers, friends, family, anybody that's operating a boat that slow is fast and fast is expensive. So just take your time, have a clear game plan of where you're going to go once you're backed off. And typically you want to tie up to the dock nearby so you can pull your trailer out of the water and park. Now preparing to tie up, I've got my dock lines already pre-rigged and ready to go, and when I'm looping them over the cleats, I want to keep all my lines on the dock nice and tidy so nobody's tripping over them. Now that we're ready to put the boat back onto the trailer, the first thing we want to do before we start untying the boat is to make sure that we have our engine running, and then we can go ahead and start untying. Back to front makes no difference in this case. And I'm going to go ahead and pull the bumpers in as well, so that way it's one less thing in the way. Once we get everything back onto the trailer, I'll go ahead and stow them and the rest of the gear once we're out of the water. Now this is generally the part that makes everybody pretty nervous about putting their boat on the trailer. Once again, slow is fast, fast is expensive. The key to putting your boat on the trailer is not to put the trailer in too deep. Typically most boat ramps, if you submerge the fender wells just below the waterline, that'll be just perfect to put the boat on the trailer. With today being a nice slow day at the boat ramp, we got plenty of room to work with and plenty of time and nobody we have to try to impress. So we're going to ease forward until the front touches and then we're good to go. Come up front, make sure you hook that winch strap. And one of the things I love about pontoon trailers is we can get everything hooked up and winch it up with ease. Trim the motor up, and that's a big thing you don't want to forget about. Well, we've got the boat out of the water and back on the trailer, so now it's time to button it up. Once again, we pulled over to the designated loading and unloading area where we can pack up our boat away from all of the traffic trying to get in and out of the ramp. That's important. We'll start with the transom straps. Remember, we keep them in the back of the truck, easy to get to. And as I'm walking to the back, I'm double checking a couple of things. I'm making sure my winch is locked in place like it's supposed to. The front of the boat is up against the bow stop like it's supposed to be. And then I'm also looking at the trailer, making sure that the boat is sitting on properly, not situated one side versus the other. We want it sitting right in that cradle. And we can even, just for extra guarantee, have a look right down the center of the tube and we can see that it's sitting in there like it's supposed to. So that's important. We'll start with putting the transom straps on so that the back of the boat doesn't bounce around like crazy when we're going down some of the country roads that these lakes have. We'll lock that guy in and put the safety strap as back up. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. That secures the back of the boat. We're ready to travel. Even if the boat bounces around, it's gonna stay on the trailer. We're gonna put the motor back into the position to be transported. And that's good to go. Gonna move inside the boat, finish packing up over there, and then we're gonna finalize everything with the battery switch. We're gonna shut that baby off, and we'll head home. Well, thanks for joining us today. We've got the boat on the trailer, so now we're ready to head out. For more tips and tricks, you can visit one of your local SKIER'S marine dealerships or visit our Knowledge Center online at www.skiersmarine.com. We'll see you out on the water.